getting this big. Hey, everybody, John Harris here with you with my pal Billy Smith. And we are coming to you from, I don't know if I can move it. There it is. There's us as I move my head from the cheap seats. I just wanted to get both stick figures in there. We don't just do NFL football. So to talk about sports, first you had the James Harden trade. I think the Sixers came out okay. That's about as good as they were going to get. They've got a few players and some draft picks for the future. So that's going to work out for them, and they might even be able to tally that into something else to get another high caliber player if they want. I think it also lets Tobias Harris go out and score some more points, so it may work out in the end, just like that. And it's addition by subtraction. Harden's a putz. Get him out. You know, he's what was the best thing? Somebody said that he's a franchise killer, so he's got to go. So best thing. I like what they did last week with the airplane thing. That was great. So
As a quote you would say, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. Thanks for stopping by. Get out. And let's see. A lot of NFL trades. Of course, Arizona Diamondbacks lost the World Series tonight. We both did pick Texas in the series once we got going. So and 5 games. I think I said 6. You might have said 5. I'm not sure, but that's what I had. Oh yeah, that's what I had. So yeah, and that came out to fruition.
They're a road killer. You know, they've won every game on the road.
11-0 in the postseason on the road after last night. You can't beat that, man. That's great. That's what you got to do. Good hitting, good pitching. Even when Garcia went down, Seager and Simeon picked it up for him. So that's what you got to have, guys coming through in the clutch when they're ready to go. So
yeah, winning the first World Series was great, but I tell you what, that Gallon guy had a no hitter going into the 7th inning. That's a
perfect
shame.
inning. Well, 6 no-hit innings, 5 perfect innings.
Yeah.
That's just he pitched well, but they figured him out that third time through the order, and started that 7th inning off with 3 straight singles and scored a run, and then tacked on in the top of the 9th to make it, unreachable. So good job by Texas. Congratulations to them. Bruce Bochy wins his 4th World Series. That's outstanding with his 3rd team. Don't get better than that, man. That's the right call. He walks like I do, barely gets out there, and but you know what? He's got a great baseball mind, and because he basically took the same players somebody else had and made them winners. You know, they got a couple additions at the trade deadline, but great job by them, and congratulations to the Texas Rangers. Had some NFL trades. We can talk about them probably as we go to the picks if we want. The Philadelphia Eagles picked up an former All-Pro defensive back. That was a good pick. I mean, the rich just get richer. Your team, the Commanders, traded away 2 big pieces of their defense for draft picks. So they want to rebuild. I don't blame them for that. But what kind of message does it send to the guys that are playing now?
Because they're young guys. They got rid of Chase Young.
Yeah, Sweat and Young just coming in their own. I mean, what do you do? But they're probably the two or three of the bigger pieces that you're going to get anything for. So at some point, you got to pull the trigger, I guess, on that and decide if we want to really get something that could be valuable to us, we're going to have to give something up. So.
And Young goes to the 49ers.
Young goes to the Niners. So the Eagles get a defensive back All-Pro, and then the Niners get Chase Young. It's just wow. One thing after another for those 2 teams, huh? They both they both need it.
The rich get richer, as you say.
Of course, the Niners have lost 3 in a row, but they're in a division where they could probably lose 2 more and still run away with the division. So meanwhile, big game, Philly-Dallas this weekend. That'll be big. That's huge Sunday. So we'll see what happens. It's the late afternoon game at 4:00 Eastern. The other big thing, of course, yesterday, the Raiders fired their coach and general manager, and also eventually fired their offensive coordinator, who was really probably working under Josh McDaniels, the head coach. as the great Ken Harrelson from the Chicago White Sox likes to say, when a guy strikes out, he gone.
He gone.
There you go. Uh,
He's terrible.
he
Terrible.
terrible. Best thing ever happened to the Colts is that he backed out of that coaching deal that time, because he has not two teams now and he's nowhere near 500. He'll never be a head coach in the NFL. I really don't think he will be. Best
You
he'll
got
ever
two
be.
all pros. You got two all pros and Adams and Jacobs, and they're
And
underutilized.
they're so underutilized, it was ridiculous. My prediction for him is somehow he'll end up back with the Patriots
Yeah.
next season, probably. But other than that, but not as a head coach, as a coordinator again, if he's lucky, or an offensive consultant, whatever. Probably coordinator, because their offense is terrible, and they'll probably hope that he can bring it back to life somehow. But other than that, he gone. Dobbs got traded to Minnesota because of the injury to Kirk Cousins, which is really sad for him as well as for the team. He's in his last year of his contract, so we'll see what happens. But he's been a real steady influence and great numbers across the board for them. So we'll see what happens. But an Achilles is a long ways to come back from. So
Yeah, that's a tough one. And the good thing is Jefferson wants him back. So
right, that's a good thing. That's right. When your best receiver, maybe one of the best in the league, if not the best, once your quarterback back, you're right. That's a good move.
yeah.
Let's see. So Cousins is on the IL. In that same game, Atlanta's benching Ritter and starting Heineke. And I don't think that's a bad move. I really don't. I know they're looking at Ritter for the future, but he's been turnover prone lately. They have a shot at that division, because that division's the Charles Barkley division. It's terrible. That division be terrible, yo. That's terrible. I don't think Barkley would give anybody in there a Subway sandwich right about now. I mean, it's bad. So they got a shot. So if you want your team to have a chance to win, you got to make a change there, and they are making a change.
And I thought Heineke was going to be a starter when they got him, though. But I don't know.
I did too, actually. But then they wanted to go future, and they thought Ritter was the future, and they still may. But for right now, Arthur Smith, the coach in Atlanta, is doing the right thing, I think, and giving your team a better chance to win with Heineke in there. So that's a good move. The rest of these we could probably go through as we go. Like very first game, Tennessee and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is picked by 3. The over-under is 37. Tennessee is starting Levis at quarterback. I like the move personally. I think they're starting him not over Tannehill. Tannehill's supposedly still hurt, but I think if he has a good game against Pittsburgh, he may win the starting job.
Yeah, I think he'll solidify his spot here. I think Tannehill is last year. I think he's done.
Yeah, that's true. It's the last year on his contract too, isn't it? So he may be done. I'm going to go with the upset pick. I'm going to go with Tennessee across the board. Over under 37. I'm going to go over. I didn't go over our numbers yet. We'll get through the picks, and then I'll go over the numbers real fast if you want. And then
Yeah, I was going to do the same thing, but just to make it interesting, I'll take the Steelers at home.
Okay. So you're going to take Pittsburgh at home. You're taking the 3 points as well. You giving them up?
No, I'm giving the 3.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to give?
Yeah, I'll give them.
Okay.
I think it might be a field goal. I think it's going to be a push.
Okay. So you're going to give them. You're going over or under?
Over.
Okay.
Yeah, Levis. I mean, he had a great game last week. He had 4 touchdowns in his debut, but he didn't have much of a pass rush, and I think Pittsburgh may be coming after him. So
yeah, TJ Watt might give him a little more of a pass rush. But I don't know. The secondary is very good. So if he does get a couple seconds, he may be able to do some damage. So I'm going to give Tennessee a shot. I'm going to give him a shot, see what happens. Miami KC, 9:30 in the morning Eastern. Sunday from Frankfurt, Germany. The Chiefs are picked by 2. I'm going to get my fat ass up, and there's a place that doesn't open up in the mornings, but they're going to open this particular morning Well, you know what? I don't know if I will because I've karaoke the night before. But my plan is to try. Go get
La,
me
la,
some
la, la, la,
biscuits
la.
and gravy and watch the game there and see what happens. Chiefs are picked by 2. Over under is 51.
Yeah, this could be one of the top games of the week. Um,
Yeah,
Miami, they're sputtering a little bit after a hot start. The injury bug with the running back, rookie running back chain,
yeah,
and but Kansas City hasn't been on fire either offensively. So
correct.
this could be a good matchup, and it could be a shootout. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the Chiefs and take the over.
All right. I took the Chiefs, but because of Kansas City's problems with offense, I think their defense will slow down Miami. And of course, nobody knows Tyreek Hill like Andy Reid. So if there's a way to slow him down, the Chiefs will figure it out. And I don't think they're going to want to hold him to nothing. I think they just want to keep him manageable if they can, make Tua spread the ball out a little bit more. But he has shown he can do that. You're right. I think that running back who averaged over 12 yards a carry being out hurts them. Mostert is okay, but he struggled a little bit last week too. Kansas City's got a great front four and a decent secondary as well. I'm going to go with the Chiefs like you did, but I'm going to go under. I don't think it'll be the big shootout that a lot of people think it will be. It wouldn't surprise me if it's like 27-20, 24-21, something like that. 51's a high number, so I'll take the under on that one. Plus, I have a propensity to take over, and it's killing me. And you'll tell by the numbers when we go over there. Baltimore, Seattle, in Baltimore, Ravens picked by 6. I was surprised at how much. 44 is the over under. I
Yeah,
know.
this one here,
I'm sorry, go
I
ahead.
got the Ravens at home, but I'm going to take the Seahawks plus the points. I think it's going to be a 3 or 4 point game.
All
I
right,
think
so
Seahawks
take
win this game by
Baltimore on the pick, Seattle to cover. That's what I did. Do you want the over or under on 44?
one. The over,
I know.
uh, that's a tough one. Mm, we just because I'm going to go with the over.
Okay, I went with the under, so that's good. Arizona, Cleveland. Arizona traded Dobbs, which we already talked about. I can't believe it. Kyler Murray is available to play, but they're not playing him. They're starting a rookie. Um, Therefore, Cleveland is picked by 7.5. The over under is 37.5.
Yeah, and I don't think Watson's going to play for Cleveland either.
Cleveland, he's
But
out. You're right.
I think they're better off with PJ Walker. To be honest with you, anyway.
Well, I think
Um,
he's out too. Oh no, you're right. There he is. Okay. I'm thinking of never mind. I know who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the Giants, but Jan Jones is back, but we'll get to that. Yeah.
um,
I like Walker as well. I might even like him more than Watson. You're right.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
been a steadier hand behind that Cleveland running game and that whole deal. Um, I'm gonna go with the over only because it's a low one. It's 37.5. Um, but no, you know what? I'm not gonna go the over. I'm not pushing it. I like the under. Cleveland has a good defense. Walker will do enough for them to win, but I don't think he's going to set the world on fire. Uh, so I am going to go with the under on this one. I'm probably wrong.
All
My
right.
first instinct will be the
Well,
one.
I'm taking the over because I think Cleveland could put up 30, 35 points on them.
Maybe on Arizona. You're right, but I'll take the under. And you want who? Cleveland across the board as well.
Cleveland across the board.
New Orleans, Chicago. Justin Fields is still out, isn't he? Last I
Yes,
knew. Yes.
yes, he's still out.
New Orleans is picked by 8.5. Like, wow. Um, I'm gonna go with the over, even though I think it's risky. 8.5 seems high, but with a rookie quarterback in there again for Chicago, I'm going to take New Orleans to cover, even though it's a high number.
Yeah, I did the same.
Did you? All
Saints
right,
across the board and the over.
and the over. Okay. I don't know why I moved that. There we go. New Orleans across the board. It's like no, no, and then oh, it's like no, no, oh, for both of us. Atlanta, Minnesota. We talked about the quarterback situation for both teams a little bit. Atlanta's picked by 4. The over under is 37. I'm gonna go Atlanta across the board. It's in Atlanta, and I'm gonna take the over.
All right, I'm taking the Vikings across the board and the over.
Woo! Even without Kirk Cousins,
Even
you
without Kirk Cousins
and it's the over.
and the over.
Okay, good for you. You got the brass ones, buddy. You got somebody shining them up there for you, Pally. New England, Washington. I cannot believe that New England is picked by 3 in there.
Yeah, like I said though, Washington just lost their 2 best defenders.
That's true.
Um, the over under is 41. That's even. Ugh.
Even that's
But I
low.
tell you what, Hal's been throwing the ball around like crazy. So I mean,
Yeah,
he'll throw some picks, but he's also.
but
I'm
he
taking
could.
Washington. The
I
plus
am
3 is
too.
a gift. Is a gift, and we're going to go over because I don't think I think Washington won't be able to stop much either.
Yeah, that's true. I did the same thing. I think it'll be a shootout because neither defense is really that good, especially now without those 2 players. They actually were pretty good getting a pass rush on, and Mac Jones sits in the pocket too long. But now, unless somebody replacing one of those 2 guys is better than everybody thinks, he's going to have some time. But I think Washington's offense is better than New England's defense. So I did the same thing. Raiders at Green Bay. If I read this right, the Raiders are picked by 3.
Now they're playing the Rams. Rams and
Oh,
Green
it's the
Bay.
Rams. I apologize. That's why I see LAR and I keep thinking Raiders, Raiders, Raiders. No, it's Green Bay and the Rams. The Green Bay is picked by 3.
And Green Bay's just terrible.
Yeah, that's Charles
But
Brown
I
bold
think
too.
Stafford's questionable. I think that's the reason why
That's
they're there.
probably the hesitation. But if Stafford can play at all, you know he will.
Yeah, and they still got weapons, even if Stafford doesn't. They still got some
Yeah.
good weapons. So I'm
I went
taking
with the Rams across the
the
board
Rams.
and
Yeah, the
over.
Rams across the board. And you took the over.
Yeah,
I'm going to take. Ugh,
I know. Ugh, that's right.
I'll take the over also.
Okay. Tampa Bay, Houston picked by 2.5. I know this new rookie quarterback is pretty good, but I still like Mayfield to win some games, and I think this is a game he'll win. So I took Tampa Bay across the board and the over because the over and under is 40. Could be 4, could be
Uh,
21-20 or something like that, but 23-20.
yeah, I have Houston winning this game.
Okay.
They lost a heartbreaker last week,
Yeah, they did.
and Tampa's just not impressive. So we're gonna go
No,
with
they're
Houston,
not, but they do have weapons. And Houston,
and I'll take the over.
okay. So you took Houston across the board in the over. Okay.
Yes.
I took Tampa Bay across the board in the over. So that's cool. That we'll have a couple differences here and there.
You took the Rams, right?
I did, yes. Rams and over.
All right.
We both took Washington. I took Atlanta. You took Minnesota. I'll mark that one as well. We both took New Orleans. We both took Cleveland. We both took Baltimore and Seattle to cover. Both took the Chiefs. Oh, you took Pittsburgh. I took Tennessee. So let's mark that one too. So we got 3 game differences. I didn't look at over-unders. We got a couple of them too, but I'll worry about that later. Indy, Carolina. Indy picked by 2.5 in Carolina. Over under is 44. I'm going with Indy across the board, and 2.5. 44. I keep wanting to write over, but it would be my 6th over game in a row here. But I am going to go with the over.
Yeah, I'm going with the over
Yeah, I'll
also.
go with the over.
And I still haven't picked an under, so I'm all over. So
Okay.
I'm a high scoring game this week.
Yeah, let's hope so, right? Dallas and Philadelphia, the Eagles are picked by 3. The over under is 47. I will tell you now, I'm going to go with the over. I think these two teams, even though they're both two good defenses, I think you're going to, unless Philly can run the ball. I don't see Dallas running the ball that well without Zeke. They run it okay with Pollard, but without Zeke, I got to admit, and I was not a big Zeke fan, but there's to me a big drop off in the running game.
Yeah, Pollard's not an every
No, he's not an every down
down
back.
player,
Mm-mm.
and he's more electrifying when when he
Screen
has less
pass
to
when
deal
Zeke
with. Yes,
when
yeah.
Zeke was pounding it in the middle, you had to watch for that if they were both in at the same time.
Yeah, it's not the quantity with him, it's the quality. So
The
I mean,
quality stuff, yeah. You run him 25, 30 times a game, you're just hoping he breaks one or two of those big ones, but he would break one or two of them carrying 15 times a game.
right.
So that to me would be the difference. I think pass rushes are good for both teams. Philly might have a little advantage now only because of uh, the secondary for Dallas not being able to cover quite as good now. And of course, Philly picked up a Pro Bowl quarterback to go along with the strong secondary they already had. So I like Philly in a close one. It says 3. It'll probably be a stinking push with my luck. I'm gonna say that Philly will cover. I'm gonna take the over. I think they're both gonna wing it, or one team will dominate the other. I don't know which one for sure. When they do, the other one's gonna have to play catch up. So,
Yeah, I think I want to agree with you, but I also want to be different. So I'll take the Cowboys
oh man, really? Okay,
and the over.
and the over. All right, Giants in Vegas. This is the
Good.
one I was talking about before. The Giants are picked by only 1.5. The over under is 37. I'm going to take the Giants and I'm going to take them to cover. I just think the Raiders, they're sitting Garoppolo. That might be a good thing. New head coach, of course, new guy calling the plays. I think too much newness at one time. Vegas isn't the home field advantage usually that you would have expected it to be. It's almost like LA. Visiting teams come in, buy tickets up, and so it's not a big, huge home field advantage. I'll go with the over on 37, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's 20-10 and I lose the over. But I'm taking the Giants across the board with the over.
All right, I'm taking the Raiders here. All right, I'm the opposite. I think the new coach is going to listen to the players a little bit more, and
Okay.
uh, and they got talent. So
But they do have talent. If he starts to use Jacob, that offense, a new offense can start to use Jacobs and Adams right away. And they still have Hunter Renfrow too, right?
yep, yep.
Giants are going to be without Waller, and it's going to be a few weeks, they said at least. Daniel Jones is back in at quarterback because Tyron Taylor, does that sound right? He's out.
Tyrod, yeah, Tyrod, he's out.
And Jones just got cleared from concussion protocol, so he's going to be back this week. But if he gets hurt, I do not know who their backup is now at this point. So
Yeah, and he don't have no receivers to throw to either. So I mean,
no, especially without Waller, he doesn't have anything. So do you want the over on that or the under?
the over.
Okay. Man, you haven't went under yet with 2 games
Nope.
left, buddy. Buffalo at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is picked by 2. The over-under is 49.5. I'm
This
going
is
to go with Cincinnati across the board. I was surprised Cincinnati was picked, but I'm still riding with them, and they're really starting to play very, very well now. Buffalo's been shaky. Of course, now that we say that, Buffalo could come out with a friggin' win. You never know.
Yeah, well, Buffalo's banged up on defense.
That's
That's
the
what's
other
killing
part.
them right now.
That's
Usually,
what's
their
killing them.
defense carries them a bit. So I did
Yeah.
the same thing. I took Bengals across the board and the over.
You took the over again. Let's see if he makes it a clean sweep, folks. Vegas says Billy taking the over under will be a clean sweep. Let's see what happens. Monday Night Football. The Chargers go to the Meadowlands to face the Jets at the Jimmy Hoffa Bowl because both teams should be buried if they lose this game. Underneath the old, actually, they used to say he was one of the jokes is that Jimmy Hoffa was a cornerstone of this Brendan Byrne arena because he said he was buried in the concrete. All kinds of theories, but they said, Jimmy Hoffa, cornerstone in the business.
If he
Why?
is, he's even stiffer than stiff.
He's stiffer and stiff. That's right. Then, of course, you had the other part that, he could be in Miami. Why would you say that? Well, because I think he's been chopped up and fed to the Gators. Shut up. I hit something. But Chargers, Jets, over under 40. Chargers picked by 3.5. They're a little banged up on defense, but the Jets don't really have an offense. So it might not matter.
Breece Hall is coming into his own after starting off slowly with an injury, and Chargers defense ain't all that great either. So this could be the week that Jets get back on track.
Okay.
But I do see the Chargers winning the game, but I will take the Jets plus the 3.5. And
Okay.
drum roll.
Yeah. Over under. Here we go. Vegas says
Over.
going to take
The
over.
over.
Billy took over.
Ding,
It's
ding,
a
ding, 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 ding,
clean
ding, ding, ding.
sweep. Every game. Once I think it's 14 games or 13. I think it's 14 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 15 games. Bill took every over possible. So this will be interesting. Meanwhile, Johnny is he's going to take the over on this particular game. I took the Chargers to win the game, but because it's 3.5 and the Jets do have a good defense, I'm tempted to do what you did and take the Jets to cover. But I can't do it. I'm fighting here, and I've been fighting with that game the whole time. I'm going to take the Chargers to cover the spread. So we have differences of opinion just on games and spreads. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. When I count Dallas and Philly, add that one. 5, Giants and Vegas. So we have 5 games difference, my friend. That's going to be interesting this week. Let me give you the numbers from last week, and as soon as I can find them, here they are.
Aren't these brought to by Dennis?
Yes, our last week's picks. Very good, Bill. Brought to you by my friend at Vineland Realty Corporation, Dennis Ingraldi, 634 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey. Whether you have residential or business needs in the real estate market, get a hold of my pal Dennis Ingraldi and his staff down there to make sure that they can take care of you, because they can. If they don't have the ability to take care of you themselves, they have resources and they'll be able to find out somebody who can help you. Their number is 856-690-9482. That's Vineland Realty Corporation, 634 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey. Go down and see my pal Dennis Ingraldi. in the South Jersey area, and he can help you out. And hey, don't be afraid to call if you're outside the South Jersey area, because like I said, Dennis and those guys have resources. They may be able to get a hold of somebody for you, and they'd be able to help you out finding somebody in your area, because he does have some resources to help you out. Last week, let's talk about last week's pick, brought to you by Vineland Realty Corporation in Vineland, New Jersey. Last week's picks, Bill in straight up picks was 10-6. And guess what? Odds 10, 4, and 2. He had 2 pushes. Meanwhile, over under, he kicked ass. He was 10-6 on over under. I hate you. Picks for me, Johnny was 12-4 with straight up picks.
Oof.
But over under 7-2. So they didn't transfer over like they could have. I finished dead even for the week, which means you wouldn't have lost money on me, but you would have gained some money on Bill. And over under, guess what? Again, 8-8. So Johnny was definitely mediocre last week. You wouldn't have lost, but you wouldn't have won much. Bill, meanwhile, would have got you a couple of bucks, so of substantial money. Where does that put us for the season, you ask? And even if you didn't, stay with us. I'm going to tell you anyway, because it gets interesting. Bill on his picks is now way over 50% at 61%. Congratulations, pal. 74-58. That's a heck of a number. Good job. Your odds still a little bit under, but you climbed up at 53% with 62 wins. So congratulations there as well. You're over 50%. We were fighting that bug for a while, and you got over really well after last week's performance. Over under, you are exactly now at 50%, 61, and 61. So congratulations there. Your over or your odds games were 62-55 with 5 pushes. So that's why you are where you are. Congratulations. Good job. Even though it looks like the numbers are very similar, Bill did a lot of work to get himself back into the hunt. And now I think you'll see us both starting to pull away. It's that time of year where we pull away from Vegas a little bit. We both do. And then it becomes who's better, the competition between the two of us, because it gets close. But we do start to pull away a few percentage points above Vegas. Last year, it was only a couple. Year before, it was like we were both like 8 to 10% over Vegas. So hang in there, folks. You want to make a few bucks, just keep listening to us. My picks last week, we went over what they were for the week. I am now at 64%, so not much above Bill. At 78-44, Bill's catching up quick. Odds, that's the straight up picks. Odds, 54%. I am 2 lousy games, technically a game and a half above Bill. I have 1 less push and 1 more win. So again, Bill's getting there. He's just about caught me, the little son of the hedgehog. And over under, Bill's got me. I am 58 or 58-64, 48%. Bill, you got me on the over under. Pretty actually 46%. It's lower than that. Yeah, it's 46%. You got me, Pally, on the over under. You're just about caught me on regular picks, and on other picks. Like I said, I'm maybe game and a half up on you. So we're similar. We're there. We're right
after this week. We'll be tied.
And or you could be ahead. One of us could. This is one of those weeks where, and I think I've done it before, so you could do it this time, where since we have 5 different games picked differently, one could pull way ahead of the other, or one could just, yeah, which still would be the same thing, or one could,
or most likely we'll
win 2 and we'd be back in it. So. But this could be the line of demarcation week here. So we'll go through all that. Thank you, folks, for being with us. For Dennis and Graldi, Bill, unless you have something. I don't think we do at this point.
Oh yeah, the Union won their first of best of three series, so
That's right. They
why
did. That's right. I saw that.
uh,
Congratulations to them. Just keep plugging away, boys. That would be great. Uh, wouldn't surprise me if rumors start about the hot stove league pretty soon in baseball. It's about that time of year when things quiet down a little bit and everything else. And the NFL is in week 9, so it's middle of the season. A couple more weeks to worry about, really, about taking playoff seeding seriously. So it wouldn't surprise me if you see a couple minor things happen in baseball uh, until after football season. Then I think it'll really kick in. NBA season is starting. A couple interesting things. The Spurs the other night were over 20 points down and came all the way back to beat Phoenix. The Suns missed a buzzer beater at the end, but they didn't give up. It was in the second half. I turned it on for a few minutes. Wembanyama in the last quarter, especially the last 10 minutes, kind of took over the game a little bit defensively and on the boards. And so Phoenix, the Suns were getting one shot and done. And San Antonio was able to go down and score. I think he's starting to come into his own, this draft pick. I think it's going to be interesting to watch him. He did pretty well. I think that Phoenix was missing like Booker but still they had over 20-point lead. You can't, with Durant still in the lineup, you can't blow a lead like that.
No.
Outside of that, I think the Bucks are still trying to find themselves with Lillard and Giannis. I think they're still learning each other a little bit, but they're competitive, and at some point, I think they're going to take off. Boston's playing well. Philly, we don't know yet. They're 2-1, but with they didn't have Harden for any of those games either. So now they got some new blood. How can they mix them in, and how soon can they? Nobody that really is going to be outstanding. No real big addition. I mean, you got Morris, who will help out off the bench a little bit. I didn't like the fact that they sent PJ Walker, but you got to do what you got to do to get through what you did, to get the picks you got and everything. So unless you have something, Bill, I think that covers everything as far as
got everything covered, buddy.
All right. Hockey's just getting started. Keep an eye on that. That looks like a lot of fun. Looks like it's going to be a good season. Other than that, I think we're done, Bill.
Yippers.
Go Union.
Go Union.
Hurricanes. Hurricanes beat the Flyers. That's right. The Kate Smith Bowl. The Kate Smith Championship. And I'm mixed on this NBA in-season tournament to see how that works. Obviously, it's a money grab, but let's see what that looks like and see if it is anything that you want to continue to do or cover, or is it just a ho-hum. What I'd be worried about if I was a team that's contending for a championship is, what if one of my guys gets hurt in that thing?
I'm not for it.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to say I'm for it. You never know. It could be some exciting basketball. Might be the only way some teams have a chance at generating some noise for their fan base. If they win 2 or 3 games in the tournament that they normally might not win or get in the playoffs with. But other than that, you're right. I do worry about, what if somebody like, we'll say Durant or Giannis or Embiid or Anthony Davis, who's prone to injury. Same with Williamson, Zion in New Orleans. Jokic, somebody really big gets hurt. There's some teams not going to be real happy. And a lot of fans will be upset. And I think that would put the skids, I think that would put the brakes on making sure this gets done again, unless they make a lot of money and think there's some fan interest. If they don't, I think it could be a one and done.
Yeah.
All right. So for my pal Billy Smith, who's wearing his Villanova shirt, baby. Yeah. Nova, baby. Raleigh and oh gosh, what's his name? Oh, Jay Wright. 2 great coaches.
Yeah.
It's just for a little school, man. You can't kick that. So For my pal Billy, for Dennis Ingraldi, for all of us here at Public John Media, and for all the crew here from the Cheap Seats, we're going to say good night, everybody. Enjoy the game tonight and this Sunday. We will talk to you.
Have a good week.
Yep, we'll talk to you next week.